Did you know the average person makes up their mind about an outfit in literally 3 seconds? Crazy, right? Well, welcome everyone to today's interactive masterclass. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. Today, we're diving into a fascinating explainer that focuses on the exact thing that separates the absolute pros from, well, everyone else. We're going to unlock the secrets of mastering fashion observation through 15 key elements, and ultimately shows you how to transform pure everyday inspiration into your own original designs. Let's just jump right into it. So before we completely open up the designer's toolkit, I've got a quick question to kind of challenge your current habits. Ask yourself, do you just look at an outfit or do you actually observe it? Think about it for a second. When you last saw someone wearing an outfit that totally blew your mind, do you remember the exact fabric? Like, was it matte or was it shiny? What about the exact shade of the color? If you're like most people, you probably just thought, wow, nice dress, and moved on. But by the end of this explainer, you are going to see fashion entirely differently. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, looking versus observing. Second, the 15 observation elements. Third, a deep dive into color, fabric, and silhouette. Fourth, moving from inspiration to original design. And finally, a challenge, a quiz, and a little bit of homework. Okay, let's dive into section 1, looking versus observing. There's a massive, fundamental gap between how an everyday person views clothing and how a professional designer looks at that exact same garment. Take a look at the normal view. You see an outfit, you think, hey, nice dress. It's entirely emotion-based, it's just a general impression, and honestly, it's forgotten in about an hour. But if we shift over to the designer's view, it's a whole different story. A designer looks at that same piece and sees a fitted bodice, an A-line skirt, and a pastel palette. It's highly analytical. It's a structured breakdown that gets immediately recorded in their notebook. This right here is exactly how designers learn from the world around them. So how exactly do they break it all down? Let's move right into section 2, the 15 observation elements. We are officially opening up the designer's toolkit today. This is the secret language used to decode literally any outfit you come across. Let's break down those initial visual impressions. We always start with the silhouette, like is it an A-line shape, then color, perhaps a warm mustard. Then we look at the fabric and the texture. Is there a specific print or pattern? From there, we move to structural details, the neckline, the sleeves, maybe they're dramatic bell sleeves, and finally the length. These first 8 elements are what immediately hit the eye. They basically create the entire vibe of the garment. Moving quickly to the remaining elements, we look at fit, how it actually sits on the body. Then details like pleats, embellishments like intricate embroidery, and the styling. We also observe accessories and footwear, which, really anchor the whole outfit. And finally, number 15, the overall look. The crucial point to remember here is that the overall look is the designer's final judgment point. This is where you take a step back and ask yourself, do all these 14 individual elements work together to tell one cohesive story? Now that you've got the 15 elements down, let's zoom in. We're moving to section 3, color, fabric, and silhouette, the 3 absolute pillars of fashion observation. First up is silhouette. Think of this as the foundational vocabulary of any designer. It's simply the overall shape or outline of an outfit. Are we looking at an A-line, a straight cut, a fitted garment, flared, oversized, or maybe bodycon? To put that into perspective, just think about the contrast in everyday life. A wedding lehenga is heavily flared for that maximum drama, right? While an office dress is usually straight or fitted for professional structure. Make sense? Now let's move on to the fabric check to see how this builds our understanding. When observing fabric, you look at the fall and drape. Is it stiff or does it flow? You check the shine and texture, the thickness and transparency, and its structure. Actually, let me ask you a direct question. If you observe an outfit that is loose, completely matte, and quite thick, what fabric would you guess? You might instantly think of a winter wool or maybe a heavy cotton, right? See, that is the power of specific observation. And of course, we have the color check. Good observation goes way beyond just naming a color. You have to look at the family and temperature. Is it warm like a red or cool like a blue? You observe combination and contrast. For example, pairing blue and orange creates a high-contrast, super energetic feel just because they're opposites on the color wheel. Finally, you note if this color is a current trend and exactly where it's placed on the garment. All right, we have our toolkit. So what do we actually do with it? Let's shift gears to section 4, from inspiration to original design. This is how you take these observations out into the real world. A great designer observes the entire fashion environment. I mean, inspiration is literally everywhere. You've got street fashion, runway collections, Instagram, Pinterest, fashion magazines, celebrity styling, store displays, and just everyday fashion choices. But listen closely, because this is an absolutely critical rule. We observe to get inspired. We never, ever observe to directly copy. This brings us to a crucial 6-step journey. Step 1, observe the trend. Step 2, analyze why it works. Step 3, note it down. Step 4, collect inspiration. Step 5, experiment. And step 6, develop a new design. For instance, say you spot a trend of fringe detailing. You analyze how that fringe creates movement and texture. You take notes, you collect references, and you start experimenting with placement. Ultimately, you develop an entirely original jacket that features fringe, but it uses your own unique colors and silhouette. That, my friends, is observation turning into pure creation. All right, I really hope you've been taking mental notes, because it's time for section 5, our challenge, quiz, and homework. Here is your first challenge. I want you to pause and mentally apply that 15-point checklist to this specific outfit. A pastel pink A-line curtie with bell sleeves, paired with white palazzos and jooties. Remember, use your new specific vocabulary rather than just saying it looks nice. The silhouette is A-line, the color is pastel pink, the sleeves are dramatic bell sleeves, the styling pairs it with white palazzos for a modern feel, and the footwear brings an ethnic touch with the jooties. See how much richer and more professional that description is? Next up is our mini quiz. Let's rapid fire through a few of these just to keep your brains fully engaged. What's the difference between looking and observing? Can you define a silhouette? What's the difference between darts and pleats? And most importantly, why shouldn't we directly copy a trend? Test your own memory right now. If you can answer these comfortably, you have successfully grasped the core concepts of this explainer. Great job! Now, as your enthusiastic guide today, I am assigning you a little bit of homework. I want you to choose 3 outfits from your surroundings, maybe people on the street or even your friends. Write a professional observation for each, making sure to include the silhouette, color, fabric, and at least 2 details. Then, develop one brand new design idea based on those observations. I highly encourage you to share your observation results down in the comments so we can all learn from your eye. And that brings us to our final, powerful concluding thought for the day. A good fashion designer doesn't just look at fashion, they observe, analyze, and create. Fashion observation isn't just a one-off lesson, it's a daily practice that refines your creative eye over time. So I'll leave you with this. The next time you walk out your front door, what unseen details will you uncover, and what will they inspire you to build? Keep observing, keep designing. Thank you so much for joining me today on this No Betrayal Explainer, and stay curious.